With every program that I do, whether it's customer service and training hotels, or it's training vacation resort sales, or it's training hospitals, that there are 4 common laws, 4 natural laws of change, that once we understand these, it makes it so much easier to shift, shed, and shine so that we truly can thrive. And the first one is the law of cause and effect. We all know this academically and intellectually, but we forget it so often because we want something in our life to happen, but we're not being it, we're not doing it. If you do nothing, you'll have nothing. If you want something spectacular, you'll have something spectacular. By a show of hands, who in here would really love to have great, rewarding, loving, loyal friendships? Yeah? Happiness, financial security, stability, fun. Fun. Are you being it and you're doing it? Because if those are the things you want to have, you have to start to do it, truly. Does anyone in here have children? Yeah? Was anyone in here once a child? Yeah? Is anyone in here still a child? Yes. Yay, it's going to be a fun group. That's one great thing about children, who are among the most resilient beings on the planet, because they know how to have fun. They get up every day, and that's the first thing on their to-do list, is they're going to have a good time. And they bounce. They have so much bounceability. But what happens to us as we get older? We not only forget how to have fun, but we actually have to pull out our day timer and say, okay, next Thursday, 3 o'clock, I'm going to have some fun, because life gets so serious. And so remember that you have a great power to affect amazing outcomes when you truly take the law of cause and effect into your plan. The second law is the law of expansion and contraction, and it relates to everything we're going to be sharing today. And expansion and contraction, it's scientifically impossible for them to be occurring at the same time. You cannot get an ulcer if you're laughing. Isn't that a simple way to stay healthy, huh? To laugh more. And I'm going to give you an example of how important the expansion factor is, because when you expand, it creates upward emotional spirals of energy and positivity. And when you contract, unfortunately, it creates those downward emotional spirals of stress and despair. And you have a choice in the matter as to which one you're having more in your life. The things that truly make you the happiest are the things that expand you. The things that make you the saddest and stress you out and drain your energy are the things that contract you. And I would like everyone to please ball up your fists. And I want you to look at me. Curl your shoulders forward. Don't worry if you're worried about looking stupid. It's okay. Everybody else is. So you're good. So ball up your fists. I want you to look at me with a mean face. And I want you to say, I am so happy. Okay, I am so happy. Now stretch. Yes, it feels good after lunch. Oh, look to the sky and smile and say, I am so depressed. I am so depressed. It sounds ridiculous because it's incongruent. We're being incongruent just in those statements, aren't we? Because we're doing one thing and we're having something completely different. We're saying one thing and doing something different. How often does that happen in your life, where you're saying what you want to have and what you want to do and what you want to be, but you're not making it happen? You have power in realizing that. And also, as soon as you stretched out like you did a moment ago, it's a reminder of a lesson that your physiology has a direct impact on your emotions. Your physiology has a direct impact on your psyche, your mindset, your self-esteem, and everything else. Has anyone ever been to a yoga class? Or a Pilates class? Oh, it doesn't matter how stressed you are. If you go into a class like that, you come out feeling better, period, because you have shifted your physiology. And so, with a lesson through today, the be, do, and have, and also the expansion and contraction, leads us to your power to create be the master of your moments. My dear friend, Dr. Suzanne Gaddis, thecommunicationsdoctor.com, she's writing a book right now called Be the Master of Your Moments. And in her book, she shares that it only takes 1 to 3 seconds to create a moment. 1 to 3 seconds. That's not much, mate. 1 to 3 seconds. You have over 20,000 opportunities a day to create moments. That's a new opportunity on a continuous basis. Just since you arrived here today, you've had a number of moments. Just since I've been on stage, you've had a number of moments. These moments are priceless, but we forget the simplicity of life, of how much each moment counts. And when you experience these moments, they have one of 3 values. A moment is going to be a -1, a 0, or a +1. Ironically, as we talk about the things that contract us, these are the big negative ones. The things that expand us, these are the big positive ones. You'll become friends with a person who is so full of energy and joy and optimism and excitement that you will feel empowered just by virtue of stepping into the room with them, right? Or you may see a person pull up in the parking lot, and as soon as you do, you run. Because they have such a negative energy. Or if you're in customer service and you've had a person be really rude to you at 8 o'clock in the morning, you may let that moment bleed into another moment, and you're still talking about them when you go home for dinner that night. We give our power away by people taking these moments and bringing too much negative one energy to us. Now, energy is pretty sacred, and now that I've hit 50 years old, it is more sacred than ever. And I don't have enough energy to give to the energy soul-sucking toxic vampires. What about you? They take so much energy out of us, but unfortunately, people become that way and don't even realize the impact that they're having on folks. In customer service training, we want people to always have that positive one experience, don't we, Gina? Do you know the number one reason why a man falls in love with a woman? You've been waiting your whole life to hear this, haven't you? Yes. The number one reason why a man falls in love with a woman is because of how she makes him feel about himself. Do you know the number one reason why a man falls out of love with a woman? Because of how she makes him feel about himself. It's the same reason. We love to be around people that make us feel great and create those positive one experiences. Because either you're creating moments of magic or moment of misery. When businesses that you do business with create moments of magic, you want to keep going back, don't you? If they create moments of misery, you avoid them at all costs and tell everybody about it, don't you? So moments are very priceless. You have a little homework, and these are 2 questions that can shift your world forever. It seems very simple, but in these words there's a lot of power. And you have plenty of places to write this later. On your sheet, I actually have it on the last page, is that if you ask yourself, what makes me ecstatically happy? And you take a notebook pad and you fill it up, page after page. What gives me joy in my life? What makes me feel expanded and passionate and excited? These are the positive one experiences. Just by virtue of writing this list out, you're going to feel a physiological shift because your spirit is going to be soaring. And then the other question is, what drains my energy? And when you start to identify the things that are causing you stress and draining your energy, that's the first step in shifting so that you can minimize or eliminate them to shine in your best possibilities. The 4th law of the universe is the power of focus. Where focus goes, energy flows. Tony Robbins, you've all heard Tony Robbins, I imagine. I went to Palm Springs, California, walked on hot coals barefoot, didn't get burnt. And Tony Robbins, he had said this one quote after spending 5 days with him, where focus goes, energy flows, and that was that one thing, that one silver bullet that changed my life. And hopefully you're going to hear several today at this conference that will change your life into a different direction so that you can truly shine to your ultimate potential. But ask yourself, what am I focusing on? Because whatever you're focusing on, you're going to be getting more of. And if you're focusing on problems, you get more of them. If you focus on the negativity from other people, you get more of it, and it just expands, and it expands. And so when you focus on the positives, you can change the world and work miracles. Andrew Carnegie was the president of U.S. Steel, and he hired Charles Schwab in 1929 to run his company. Paid him like $1 million at 39 years old. It was amazing how much he could make back in those days to run U.S. Steel. And Charles Schwab at the time said that mining people is like mining gold. Everyone has dirt. But if you find the gold and you start to polish it, they shine beyond brilliance. So what are you focusing on? Are you polishing the gold? 4th law of the universe is change, which brings us to give you solutions on how to deal with change, not only to adapt to it and embrace it, but to make it work for you as a great opportunity for transformation. Please, not another change. Have you had some changes? And sometimes these changes that have been happening are a great surprise to us. Just a huge, huge surprise that we were not anticipating. And there are 2 kinds of changes in your life. The planned change that, yeah, we want to get a new house. Yeah, I want to ask for a raise. Yeah, I want to have another baby. And then there's the unplanned change, like the healthcare reform or tax structure or economics and so forth. Things that you never asked for, like your mother getting Alzheimer's or your child going to jail. Heavy things that we are forced to deal with, changes that we have to adapt to, that